Leo, this is your week ahead astrology forecast by Astrology Motivation. In these weekly videos, I review the major planetary aspects and transits and how they're going to aspect your natal sun and what that means for your day-to-day. I'll start off really broad with the charts of the week, and then I will focus things down into Leo-specific energy and then break things down further into the 3 decans of Leo so that I can get a good understanding of how your natal suns are being aspected, and then let you know what that means for your bottom line. All you need to know to understand these videos is your birth date. That's it. Everything else I will translate for you. This is for the week of September 15th through the 21st of 2023. We do have some big stuff going on. Is it major? No, it's like soft. It's softly impactful. It's subtly impactful, and we're going to talk about it all week long. And this is important because it involves the sun. We have a grand Earth trine. The sun is going to be trine to Pluto, which has been and will be trine to Uranus for quite some time. The sun is also trine to Uranus. This is forming a grand Earth trine, and a trine is kind of an easement. And when it comes to Earth, that means there's an easement in traditions, structure, rules, regulate, the way that we've always been. And it involves the sun, so it's very personal. So this sense of the way we've always been, the way we've always done things. Well, maybe we're into something new and maybe we're ready for change. Now, the sun all week long is also in opposition to Neptune, which leads to a very dysfunctional, distracted, and maybe delusional mindset. So I think what we're forced to do is ask ourselves this week, how have we kidded ourselves in terms of our expectations or limitations of what we're capable of? I think we're changing and morphing so that we see ourselves more realistically, and as well our capabilities more fluidly. So there's this energy of being open to, realizing that you're capable of things that maybe you had convinced yourself you would never be capable of. So that's really expansive energy, and that's not a big surprise when you're engaging Pluto as well as Uranus. Pluto makes the sun very, very formidable and very, very powerful, very, very almost extreme. But when it's in trine, it's more just powerful and emotive, like this sense of people can feel your radiance. And then Uranus is just, this trine to Uranus is just independence, individuality, really feeling who we are and that we're not so caught up or bound in our own personal restrictions of ourselves. So we also have Mercury going direct on the 15th. But check this out. So today is the 15th. Mercury goes direct today. Great. This is going to be a real tough Mercury shadow period. The shadow periods with Mercury can be whiplashy anyway. They could be kind of the worst of it. But the fact that Mercury is in opposition to Saturn while this is happening, this opposition is going to last through the 16th, maybe just the beginning parts of the 17th. So you can figure like the first couple of days of this week are going to be tough. Saturn is just going to make everything more difficult and exacerbate that shadow period. Even though it's posted direct, it's like it's going to make it as hard as possible for all of us to leave Mercury retrograde behind. And it may be worse than it has been this whole time for you. Just an FYI. We also have Mars opposite Chiron, which is very difficult energy, especially I believe on the 16th, when the moon comes along and conjuncts Mars. This has got to do with childhood issues, childhood traumas, different ways of maybe feeling sick or feeling injured or old injuries from the past. Stuff kind of bubbling up all week long. And I would not, when Mars is in opposition to Chiron, do not go skydiving this week. Do not let your friend take you on a whatever meetup group that goes car racing for the first time. This is so much more prone to injury and incited to be emotional, really, about stuff that we'd experienced or challenges in the past, especially with parental figures or in our childhood. Any kind of actual physical injuries could actually start to hurt you too. So I would not you know, kind of, you'll feel them again. So I would use this time, anything that comes up this week, write it down, mark it down, the sense of, okay, this is what I need to heal. Because once it comes out of your subconscious and comes into your attention, you can actually do something about it, embrace it, and encourage healing. But we have Venus too, and she is in a very beautiful position. She is in Leo. She is in Leo between, how far is she moving? I wrote this down, 14 to 17 degrees. So she's starting to catch speed up again. She's not as fast as normal, but she's getting there. She's getting some momentum back. Leo is going to be, Venus is going to be in a really beautiful spot. She is sextile to Mars all week long. That is sexy and vivacious. And especially for those of you born in the second decan of Leo, I tell you, this is stimulating energy. We also have a square to Jupiter, which is going to be expansive and decadent and indulgent and enjoying life. And it could make us excessive. And if it was just Venus square to Jupiter, sextile to Mars, this could be a very fortunate, lucky, and sexy week. But we also have this grounding energy of Venus trying to Chiron, which she was when she was in retrograde. And now she's come all the way back to where she can form a trine to Chiron again. And this is beautiful freaking energy because it's about us healing and harmonizing all those times we felt not good enough, not pretty enough, or even like actual injuries to our face or something like that. So this is a sense of incorporating that, feeling good about those lessons and those hard times, and really developing a unique sense of beauty because of it. So the choices that we're making are founded on wisdom because we have learned to value things better. Venus also rules money, so there could be some financial improvements this week as well. By the 20th, Venus goes square to Uranus. And if you remember from a couple weeks ago when she was in retrograde and she was square to Uranus, this, by the end of the week, especially still sextile to Mars, still square to Jupiter, this could be when she kind of cuts loose. This is a sense of becoming attracted to things that we normally wouldn't because we're tired of the norm. During this energy, it is going to be best for you, especially if you're in long-term relationships, to respect and encourage your mates, your significant others' independence. And it's good to be freaky together. Be open enough to listen and try new things. This is the kind of energy where people will, if they feel extra restricted in their relationships, they're more than likely to go outside of them for experimental purposes. Now, for any of you who are single, anyone you meet around this time will be odd. They will be not your normal type, but there will be a strong connection and attraction there that will last at least as long as Venus is square to Uranus. Just an FYI. So let's get into Leo specific energy. I look at two things: what's happening in Leo, and then what's happening with the sun, which is your ruling dignitary. Now, Leo, we've already gone over a little bit. Venus is in Leo. It is in the second decan of Leo, traveling through the second decan, 14 to 17 degrees. That means if your natal sun is located somewhere between 10 and 19 degrees Leo, which usually correlates between August 1st and the 11th birthdays, you guys, your natal sun is conjunct to Venus. Now, I think you've known that for a while. It's already there, and we're going to get deeper into what that means for the rest of the week. Just an FYI. We'll get into it. Let's first go over what's going on with the sun. The sun is going to move between 22 and 28 degrees Virgo. This is the last leg of Virgo season. So that goes to the 21st. On the 22nd, the sun will transit into Libra. So even though this week doesn't cover up through the 22nd, happy Libra season, because that's what will start. That's what's almost about to begin. The sun is going to make a transit into Libra season. Libra is an air sign. There's a beautiful energy between Leo and Libra. You guys are both love the glitz, love the glamour, and love to freaking shine. So The sun is quite content and happy when it is in Libra. And of course, we'll celebrate the autumnal equinox when that happens, because that is when the sun moves into Libra and on the day when the day and night are equal. So that will be, I believe, on the 22nd. And there's a lot to celebrate there as we move into the fall, winter holiday season. So get your pumpkin spice lattes ready. I know Starbucks is already selling them. I don't like them, but whatever. The sun is going to be in opposition to Neptune all week long, actually for the rest of the month, into Libra season. And then we have a trine to Pluto and a trine to Uranus, making this a very dynamic time for you, a game-changing time, a time of metamorphosis and ingenuity, and definitely kind of spreading your wings to recreate your own self, especially since this energy was really kicked off by this beautiful new moon in Virgo on the 14th. That was a wonderful way to really kick off this energy, and such a super powered way to plant those seeds for whoever the new version of you or the new life you want to lead. So let's go into the decans, Leo. If you know that your natal sun is between 0 and 9 degrees Leo, then it is in the first decan of Leo, the first group of 10 degrees. So this usually correlates to Leo birthdays in July. So any Leo born between, say, July 22nd and July 31st, in and around those dates, that would be you guys. Your natal suns, if you're at the cusp, which includes like July 21st, 22nd, and 23rd, your natal suns are in opposition to Pluto. They have been. This is nothing new. Pluto is also retrograding this week back 27 degrees to, not back 27 degrees, back to 27 degrees. So it's actually going to impact more of you. So maybe 21st, 22nd, 23rd, 24th. This is the energy that you will be connecting with for a while as in a year or so, especially if you're more toward like, I would say, yeah, like, no, that's about there. Just the cuspers. You guys are going to be your natal suns are going to be in opposition to Pluto. This means you're going to be formidable. This means that you could take things to extremes. This means that change and having major impact, you're not going to be able to release that. Like you're going to have to make major change, major impact, and you are more likely to take things to the extreme, which could also cause contention in your life. Just an FYI. And you also have a quincunx to Saturn. So opposition to Pluto, quincunx to Saturn, this is tough energy. And those are going to both last throughout this year, the opposition to Pluto into next year. This is the energy of I will get things done and I won't let anyone get in my way. And ultimately that can also burn bridges. So this energy is about growing up. It is about changing and taking more personal authority over your life. So have a ball. Leo 2s, if you know that your natal sun is between 10 and 19 degrees Leo, you are Leo 2s. So that correlates to Leo birthdays. We talked about this just a few minutes ago, between, say, August 1st and August 11th. It's your natal suns that are conjunct to Venus. So your natal suns are also square to Jupiter, trine to Chiron, sextile to Mars, and square to Uranus by the 20th. This is a hugely combustible week for you that is so rich with happiness, growth, prosperity, fun, feeling like you're just feeling alive again, and feeling like I want to be me, and I want to try things, and I want to open myself up. And this is the really expansive time, and I think all week long you're going to be experiencing some really beautiful energy because of this energy. When it comes to your relationships, just to remind you, if you don't have a romantic partner, it's a great week to flirt. It's a great week to date, but you could find yourself being drawn to the oddities and the more extremes. And ultimately what that means is it might be a great experience, but I'm not sure how long it will last. Yes, I am. Basically, while Venus is square to Uranus. Just not sure it will last beyond that, but it'll be interesting. And this is definitely the time to give yourself and your partner space and independence, especially toward the end of the week when Venus is going to, I mean, your natal suns are already square to Chiron, but while Venus squares to Chiron as they're conjunct your natal suns, this is really the time when you'll want your independence and you'll want to try new things, interesting things, sexy things. It's time to allow your partner the space, but also the creativity. Just an FYI. Let's go into Leo 3s. So if you know that your natal sun is between 20 and 29 degrees Leo, it's in the third decan of Leo. So you guys are Leo 3s. This correlates to Leo birthdays between August 12th through the 22nd. You kind of get how this goes, right? Your natal suns for the next couple of months are sextile to the south node and trine to the north node. There are opportunities coming, maybe through home, through old friends, through places you used to live, places, parts of you that you feel secure with. Those are doors opening, but they're also going to help you feel more comfortable and set you up for where you are headed. We have a long-term quincunx to Pluto and quincunx to Neptune, which is an interesting position to be in. It's almost like you're being spurred in the side from two different sides to change and create and develop. And it's like almost like awakening your internal magician, if you will, especially your internal alchemist, to put things together and create something out of nothing, and to take that action and kind of be assertive about new developments and your creativity. Could also have a very psychic influence on you, where you are growing those aspects of yourself too. Your natal suns are also in a long-term square to Uranus. So this square, I'm sorry, I did say that Leo 2s, your natal suns, were square to Uranus, right? They're not. I apologize. They're not. Venus is conjunct your natal suns. And she, because she's at 17 degrees, will be square to Chiron, will be square to Uranus by the end of the week. But your natal suns are not. So I apologize for that. Leo 3s, it's your natal suns that have been in a long-term square to Uranus. So let's get that straight. Long-term square to Uranus, asserting your own independence, your individuality, and your personal uniqueness. And that will open up your mind to be able to be more engineering and more ingenuitive as well. This week, though, for you guys, Leo 3s, your natal suns are semi-square to Mars. So semi-square to Mars could cause some tension, since Mars is in a pretty tense spot right now anyway, because of his opposition to Chiron. There is that energy of being more agitated, being more defensive, and being more impulsive. So that's definitely something you might want to take. You might want to like count 10 before you respond to people. Don't jump in head first into anything, especially not literally, but also figuratively. This is a time for you to be more, I don't want to say cautious, but definitely more aware of the decisions you make and the situations you're putting yourself into, because you are more prone to impulsivity and anger. So you might have to take a step back and breathe a couple of times this week. I love you so much, guys. Thank you so much for hopefully enjoying this video. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to like this video and share it with those people that you know would like it too. And subscribe to the channel if you are not subscribed already. Now come on over to Born Without Boundaries Tarot for your week ahead tarot card message. I love you guys, and I'll see you in the videos. Bye, Leo.